What do I love about the Ninja Combi? Everything. How about the ability to take an oven recipe and convert it very easily to a Ninja Combi recipe, and then using a little of that Ninja Combi technology to make things go even smoother? Well, that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to use an old-fashioned sheet pan recipe, like the kind your mom probably used in the oven in the old days. But guess what? The Ninja Combi comes with this big pan. I'm calling that a sheet pan. And we're going to add a little water to the bottom pan, do a little combi cooking, which is going to use steam and heat at the same time. So let's get this started. There is a bit of prep for this, so let's get it going. So like I said, this is an old sheet pan recipe that we're going to try to convert over. And so it's basically chicken and vegetables. We're going to have some lemon, some garlic, etc., etc. For our vegetables, we're picking asparagus. These peppers, I literally just picked them off the vine a couple minutes ago. We're going to have some peppers. And we're going to have about maybe a quarter of that red onion right there. So let's go ahead and get prepped. And what we're going to do, I have this bowl. So every time I cut something up, it's going to go in the bowl. And we're going to let these vegetables sit in a little marinade kind of thing for a few minutes while we're working on some other stuff. All right, we're going to start off by trimming off these fat ends on this asparagus. These fat ends, they're very fibrous and they don't cook very well. But I'll tell you what you can do with them. You can wrap these up, put them in the fridge, and if you're making some kind of a soup, just chuck them in with the soup. They'll add a lot of flavor. Not so good for just eating, though. They're hard to bite through. We're going to set those aside. You may have noticed I left the rubber bands on. Well, that's why I did it. Makes it easy to just chop them right off. So I'm going to take the bottom rubber band off, leave the top, get the tag out of the way, because we need to split these in half. And there we go. Now we can pull the top. And when you do pull the top, pull down the stalk so you don't pop all these little florets off the top. So like I said, in the bowl we go. We're picking out the best of the best here for this dish. So I'm really looking for the thinnest ones. The rest can go over with the other stuff. So we want some thin ones. We want this to really, the steaming to really cook these nice and tender for us. That's good. No, don't worry. There's plenty of other veggies going on here. So we're going to save those for something else, another dish. And let's work on these peppers. Came right out of the garden. Gonna have to do a little trimming on them. They're looking pretty good though. Get these seeded, get these little pieces right there out. And I'll take these over and wash them up real good. And then we'll cut these up. That's a good looking pepper there. And got a couple more here. Go ahead and chop up your peppers. And lastly, we're going to need a little red onion. Let's start with a half a cup of your favorite chicken broth. We're just going to be adding some flavors to these vegetables before we roast them. That's all we're doing here. All right, we're going to mix in a little Greek seasoning. I'll be using this Greek vinaigrette salad dressing. If you can find it in a powder form, go for it. A little bit of minced garlic to taste. I've got about a teaspoon there. I have a lemon picked off the tree outside a few minutes ago. We're going to zest this up, cut it in half, get the juice out, zest and juice. Use whatever you got. You can get a fair amount of the zest in there. We're also going to add the juice, so you don't have to go too crazy. That zest adds a lot of flavor, guys. So I wouldn't skip that step. Okay, let's juice it. Cut it in half. Use your favorite juicer. I'm going to use this. This is a pretty big lemon. That might be all the juice I need. Lemon's about half, or I'm sorry, about twice the size of one you might find in the store. So let's give this a quick mix. Yeah, that's all the lemon we're going to need for that one. Let's give that a good mix there. So basically, we're just going to let that sit and marinate in those juices for a little while we pre-roast the chicken. That's right, you heard me right. We're going to pre-roast the chicken. And the reason for that's pretty simple. The vegetables and the chicken cook at 2 different times. So we're going to give the chicken a head start and then add the veggies. Go ahead and get your Ninja Combi preheated 350 bake. There it is. And on your baking tray, line yourself up some of these chicken thighs. Now, I've got them spread out for the first 15 minutes, but when we finish, we're gonna flip them over, squish them together. We're gonna get our veggies in here, and we're gonna get some of that sauce over top. But for this part, spread them out like this, and let's go ahead and cook these for 15 minutes. When the preheat is finished on the Ninja Combi, it does tell you to add food. So let's add the food. We're going into level 2. I don't like that. We're going into level 1. Let's get it down a little further from the element. I don't want to burn them. This is just to get the heat started. So it's already defaulted to 15 minutes. I've got it on 350. We got it on bake, and that's it. Our veggies are marinating. I'll see you guys back here in about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and remove your chicken and have your pan of water ready. I have about a cup of water in there. And don't forget, these chickens are not ready. That was just like a little 15-minute preheat. We'll move these over here. Step on the dog, as usual. And let's get our water in. And we're gonna be switching from bake mode to Combi crisp mode, so you will need to flip the lever to the up position. Before we do that, let's get our vegetables on the tray. Once you get your chicken out from the 15-minute preheat, flip them over. Line up your vegetables all around the chicken and take some of the juice from the bowl and just ladle it on top of the chicken thighs, like so. If any of the veggies land on top, pull it off because they might burn on you. Keep them down into the pan as low as you can get them. We're going to put this on level 2 and switch over to Combi Crisp. Don't forget, guys, this pan just came out of our Combi. It is 350 degrees. Make sure you use some really good pot holders. Slide this in to a level 2 position. Switch your switch, which was here, to the up position. Scroll down to Combi Crisp. Let's leave that at 350. And set a time for another 15 minutes and go. And if you remember how this works, we're going to create a whole lot of steam, and then things are going to turn on and start to cook it. See you back in about 15 minutes. Fresh from the Ninja Combi, our amazing converted sheet pan recipe. Chicken, lemon chicken, and vegetables. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It is amazing. Let's cut into it and give it a taste test. Let's cut into this chicken and see how we did. Yeah. Ah, it's perfect. Juicy. That looks absolutely perfect. Let's take a bite, including some of these vegetables. Start with the chicken. Juicy, tender, and delicious. Now, did these asparagus get cooked all the way through? Let's find out. Oh yeah, That's great. You can taste the lemon flavor on them. Fantastic. Let's get a little more with some onion. That's exactly what I was going for. It's fantastic. And that's the Ninja Combi for you. Just took an old-fashioned sheet pan recipe, did a few conversions, and boom, there we go. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, leave me some comments. Let me know if you ever tried anything like this. How did you do it? Was it different than the way I did it? Let me know. We'll see you soon on the next video.